My name is George Hartzman. On May 21st, I was forwarded explosive public records, including a fiscal year 23-24 Downtown Greensboro Incorporated, otherwise known as DGI, financial ledger revealing disturbing pattern of misuse and misconduct. The most alarming entries: more than 30 Greyhound bus ticket purchases, over $3,200, charged to the DGI CEO Zach Matheny's credit card. These were made under DGI's taxpayer-funded Downtown Ambassador program, run out of the Greensboro Depot bus station. The city has funneled $390,000 into this program since 2023. Mayor Vaughn confirmed the program is relocating houseless individuals, likely a majority of black men and women, by busing them out of Greensboro.
I did not say that.
There's no mention of this in 3 years of DGI board minutes, no transparency, no public input, just quiet removal of people paid for by taxpayers. That's us. But it doesn't stop there. Zach Matheny sits on council and runs DGI, a clear conflict. He's voted to approve millions in taxpayer money for projects that benefit DGI's donors, clients, and allies, including some of his political contributors. The ledger also shows over $20,000 in spending on courtside swarm tickets, Tanger Center concerts, Grasshopper sponsorships, and Wyndham Championship access. Perks not for the public, but for insiders. Did anyone being bussed out of Greensboro get a basketball ticket or a seat to a concert? Probably not. If anyone here received free event tickets or meals from Zach or DGI, do not raise your hand. This is about more than money. It's about ethics. It's about justice. It's about whether we allow taxpayer dollars to be weaponized against the vulnerable while enriching the powerful. If we don't speak up now, this rot will continue to spread. Tonight, I'll present the evidence: how public money flowed through DGI into Zach Matheny's network, how city contracts are being rigged for a connected few. We need your help. If the people I'm naming knew what I had before I went public, I might not be standing here. So listen closely, share what you learn, and let's demand real accountability. Our city deserves better. George Hartzman, this isn't just about concrete and asphalt. It's about conflicts of interest, self-dealing, and taxpayer abuse. Salmon Corporation is led by Arthur Salmon, a current DGI board member, alongside Zach Matheny, who also sits on the city council.
That's actually not relevant to this
I'm asking
item.
for his recusal. Who also sits on the city council and serves as DGI CEO.
There's no reason for recusal.
I'm asking for Zach's recusal. Please let me finish. Arthur Salmon is also a political donor to Zach Matheny. Taxpayer-funded DGI paid for meals at Undercurrent involving Salmon, Matheny, Roy Carroll. During the same time, contracts with Salmon and Carroll's companies were approved, pending, or amended by the city. Roy Carroll, another major donor to Matheny, has paid employees sitting on DGI's board, along with Mr. Salmon. The timeline raises serious red flags. Salmon votes on DGI taxpayer-funded initiatives, while his company profits from city contracts. Zach Matheny never recused himself from any votes involving Salmon or Carroll, despite clear personal, professional, and financial ties. It looks like a quid pro quo. There were meals with Salmon and Carroll coincident with approved city contracts and campaign donations flowing to Zach Matheny. What it looks like is kickbacks and insider dealing, all funded by the public, which has been kept in the dark. I received incriminating evidence of malfeasance, and I was at risk from that moment on. We've also learned the DGI's ambassador program, operating out of the Greensboro Depot and funded with public dollars, has been busing out houseless, mentally ill individuals from the city, likely without full board oversight. Do Arthur Salmon and Roy Carroll know DGI may be complicit in the forced
This
removal of
really
vulnerable
has
people
nothing
from
to do with the
Greensboro?
contract. Mr.
I'm
City
done with
Attorney.
that. These are serious
It has
ethical
nothing to do with the topic.
violations
Excuse
and
me?
conflicts of
It
interest.
has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay. He is,
That has nothing to do with the topic, and is also not allowable under the law.
all right. Mr. Hartzman,
I formally call for his
okay,
recusal
Zach,
on
are
this
you going to
item.
recuse
You
yourself?
can't formally call for his recusal.
No, are you
I
going
just
to?
formally recalled, I called for it. You saw me do it.
Mr. Matheny, would you humor Mr. Hartzman, please? Are you going
Seriously,
to
you
recuse
should
yourself?
Recuse yourself.
Mr. Watts.
Yes.
Before I begin, the city attorney, Chuck Watts, Mayor Nancy Vaughn, and I believe Nancy Hoffman have received meals from Zach Matheny,
All right, George,
paid
this has
for by
nothing to do with
DGI.
this item.
It's on the ledger. You need to recuse yourself from
No,
interrupting
we
me.
don't. This has nothing to do with this item whatsoever.
And that would not be a
And you
basis
either
for recusal.
zero in on something with this item or move on.
So, this item has money for the Parks and Recreation Department. As DGI CEO, Zach Matheny purchased lunch for
Oh.
Parks and Rec's
Come on,
director.
George,
It's what
now,
it
you've
is.
gotta be,
It's allowed.
It is allowed. I call for council to demand immediate recusal of Councilmember Zach Matheny from all votes involving Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department.
That would
A
not be
department
allowed.
his organization, DGI, openly brags about lobbying. He's a lobbyist, Chuck. A lobbyist is not allowed to spend $1 on you.
He's not a lobbyist,
He's an unregistered lobbyist. Do you see the pictures?
i.e. not a lobbyist.
DGI's January 30th Business Improvement District report states a
Right, this-
strong,
this has
mutually beneficial
nothing-
partnership with city staff, particularly.
do we have a motion on this item? Moved by Mrs. Therm, seconded by Mrs. Hoffman. Council, please vote.
It absolutely is not. Oh, are you a lawyer now? No. That doesn't make you a lawyer.
All right, come on.
It actually makes you in violation of practicing without a license.
That item passes 9-0. Item G12, budget adjustments requiring council approval, 51325 through 52325. Mr. Hartzman, can you be relevant? Do I have a motion on the item? Moved by Mrs. Therm, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem. Council, please vote. We have a speaker on this item.
We
Mr.
do.
Hartzman?
Madam Mayor, I would like to request that Mr. Mason speak after this, please. Thank you.
He runs the downtown trolley. Zach is about to vote to fund something DGI admits lobbying for, something that provides a financial benefit to DGI's members that is a direct conflict of interest. According to DGI's meeting minutes, the city had put forth funding for a trolley system to connect the universities to downtown. In its January 30th report, which you all, I assume, have seen and read, DGI stated it, quote, continues to support the addition of the Hopper trolley and strongly encourages the city to add service during the colder months. They go on to say, we work closely with Greensboro Department of Transportation as the Hopper Trolley continues to expand its service and enhance its impact on the downtown area. The DGI is actively lobbying for a service that directly benefits its own members, downtown businesses, and property owners. Mr. Matheny voted for a $325,000 downtown transportation study, then a $1.4 million change order to fund the downtown trolley service, which directly benefits him. The language of that resolution made it crystal clear, quote, "The downtown trolley service is specifically designed to enhance mobility and accessibility within the downtown area, directly benefiting businesses and property owners that DGI represents." Close quotes. I didn't say it. The resolution did. Under North Carolina law, public officials are prohibited from voting on matters in which they have a financial interest, yet Matheny, as both a council member and DGI CEO, voted to funnel city money into a project DGI lobbied for. I am formally calling on Council Member Zach Matheny to recuse himself from all future discussions and votes related to the Hopper Trolley, DGI's funding, or any project DGI lobbies for, which includes buying meals and giving gifts to council members and city staff.
Madam. We are on item H4, which is the Davy
I
Street.
think I got to go. Ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hartzman, how could we forget?
Thank you. I found my pen. George Hartzman. The Davy Street parking deck deal doesn't include demolition. Yet taxpayers are paying for the Bellmead giveaway to Carroll. Barry Siegel, who is BSC Holdings, which should have been disclosed, has to pay for his own demolition. Why isn't Roy Carroll doing the same? Has anyone even asked? Well, I'm asking. These deals involve no bid contracts awarded to major political donors of city council members when public resources are handed out behind closed doors without competition. Sends a message that influence, not merit, determines who benefits from taxpayer dollars. Please recall that the AC Hotel parking deck for Carroll's new project was also paid for by taxpayers. And now we're doing it again. You gave them the end of Lindsay Street. You put water and sewer out to the Publix warehouse for them. And there's more, but I don't remember them. Zach Matheny is never registered as a lobbyist, yet DGI actively shapes policy to benefit his clients and political donors. DGI has paid for meals with public officials who later voted to approve Carroll's projects. In 2022, Roy Carroll donated $5,000 to Matheny's campaign. Since then, Carroll has received about the same amount of taxpayer-funded money back from DGI. One was a facade grant. The rest were meals, I believe, charged to Zach's credit card, taxpayer-funded credit card. Matheny's continued participation in these votes violates the spirit and the letter of the law. It's time for transparency. It's time for accountability. It's time for Zach to recuse himself. I call for Zach Matheny to immediately recuse himself from all votes involving Roy Carroll, the Carroll companies, and any downtown property transactions, especially the proposed transfer of Bellmead property to Carroll's company. The conflict of interest are glaring and undeniable It is a direct conflict of interest. Roy Carroll has an employee who sits on DGI's board, and Matheny, as DGI's president, answers to Carroll's interests. He's lobbying the city. You're letting him do it. George Hartzman, since 2015-16, the city's budget will have grown by $340 million per year, every year. It's 70% more, while the workforce only grew by 2.5%. That means the average cost per employee more than doubled from $52,000 to over $106,000 per year per employee, while inflation rose less than 30%. It's not fairness, it's fiscal negligence. And now we're being asked to accept more of the same. Taxpayer money is being misused. DGI keeps receiving public money despite illegal lobbying, self-dealing, and lavish perks for insiders, while small businesses and residents are left out. That's not economic development, it's cronyism. This budget rewards corruption. Zach Matheny, DGI's president and sitting council member, should recuse himself from any vote benefiting DGI, which last year he did 1, but not 2 on the tax rate. Their ledger shows over $40,000 in spending on perks, haunted house tickets, oyster roast tickets, swarm, tanger, grasshoppers, and Wyndham events. Then there's meals with city officials, nonprofit leaders, and Matheny political donors at Green Valley Grill, B. Christopher's, Pure Vita, Natty Greens, Undercurrent, Lucky 32, Printworks, Sushi Republic, Positano, Inca Grill, and more. All on the public's dime. We're paying for it. If this is what DGI is doing with public money, the chances that this budget is stuffed with waste are astronomical. This council has lost its moral compass. Greensboro doesn't need more backroom deals. We need accountability. I call on council to freeze all DGI funding until a full forensic audit is completed, restore public trust, and vote no on this budget until the corruption and overconsumption is addressed. How is it possible that you can have season tickets to Tanger and all these different things, and there's no list of who got the tickets? Who got the tickets? Who'd you give them to? Either Zach gave them away. Did you all get tickets to stuff? Did you? Sharon. You realize it's illegal lobbying. You're taking taxpayer-funded money. You're taking gifts from a lobbyist. Oh, my God. George Hartzman. Inclusion in the bid means mandatory extra taxes, imposed with little to no oversight from the public of the city. DGI claims to support downtown growth, but in practice, it supports a small group of insiders benefiting political allies, developers, and preferred businesses, not the broader property-owning community. That's not shared prosperity, it's targeted favoritism. If DGI's services were truly valuable, they wouldn't need to be forced. Instead, they extract money from property owners without offering transparency, fairness, or accountability. Now we've seen how DGI spends taxpayer money. Should these property owners continue paying into a system riddled with conflict, questionable spending, and opaque priorities? The property owners have made a clear request to exit this system. They don't believe belonging within the service district is helping their business, their tenants, or their bottom line. And they should be forced to subsidize, they shouldn't be forced to subsidize a politically connected nonprofit that provides no measurable value in return. This is about fairness, property rights, and fiscal responsibility. But these parcels opt out of a system that doesn't serve them. This is an amazing waste of time. From my last interaction, I'm at a loss to figure out. I mean, the city attorney's accepted gifts from Zach. How many of you have received benefits from Zach Matheny? They're taxpayer paid for benefits. It's coming out of my pocket. It's coming out of everyone's pockets. You can't buy, what, a couple of thousand tickets? 1,000 tickets? And not have any account of where they went or who got the benefit from them. It's taxpayer money. If you get to go to a Greensboro Grasshoppers game on DGI, you're spending taxpayer money. If he buys you lunch, it's taxpayer money.